Welcome back, you whiskey loving legends, to another beautiful day here in the UK. Out the garden, of course. And I thought, what a great chance to get out and have a little sample of this Aberfeldy sample kit I've got here. We've got the 12-year-old, the 16-year-old and the 21-year-old. I really hadn't had much Aberfeldy before, so I thought it was a good chance to just taste them all, and I thought I'd share it with you. So as you can see, it's a nice little box, flips open. We've got the 12-year-old and the 16 and the 21. So let's pour them out for a start. Now Aberfeldy mainly produces a lot of their whiskey for Dewarts, if you didn't know as well. So that's the 12-year-old. We have the 16-year-old. It's a Highland distillery, Aberfeldy, and generally they've got a little bit of peat in them, but not much. There's the 21-year-old. Righto. So let's start with the 12-year-old. Colour's pretty usual, golden colour. I'm sure it's coloured. All of these, by the way, are 40%, so you know, it's as far as watered down as it can go, so I won't be adding any water to these whiskies. So straight away on the nose on the 12-year-old, I get some honey, smell like some apples, some red sweet apples. Some bit of berries in there too, and some maltness, a little bit of malt. You can smell a little bit of malt in it. There is a wisp, like a very faint. I mean, you can barely even tell it's there. Wisp of smoke in the nose. After a while, that red ripe apple kind of changes into this like a stewed overripe, you know, ultra sweet overripe apple. And so you get this honeyed stewed apple or overripe apple. What I might do, I might go through the nose of the others at the same time. So we'll just do the nose of the 16. So the 16, I think, has been finished off in sherry casks. That's the only difference, and obviously it's 16 years old, right? The nose straight away it's a lot lighter than the 12. I get like this light floral honey, a bit of that orange, but lighter, more delicate. I do get hints of sherry, but not very much. There's no means a sherry bomb or any real sherry intensity to it. But it has got a bit of maybe a milk chocolate, a bit of milk chocolate in it, along with some nuts as well on the nose. Okay. So we might do the nose of the 21 as well, as a comparison, because we like to compare these things. And again, the nose on the 21 seems to be lighter, more delicate than the 12 and the 16 as well. A bit different. I get like it's more of a malty grain. I get a bit of some of those good hay notes. A faint smoke in the 21. It's not really red apples. It's this like unusual fruity smell. So I can't really place what it is. A sharp and sweet, unusual fruity smells. All right. So that's the nose of them all, but let's go back to the 12-year-old for the palate. So it's, straight away I get this like that sweet honey, a bit of nuts, some light spice, some orange, cloves, nectarines and peaches. So it's now 12 years quite sweet. And then it kind of finishes kind of like a tutti frutti lollies, or tutti frutti if you know the flavour, and sugar, icing sugar in fact, and then this light spice on the finish. Kind of a medium to short finish, I'd say, and relatively sweet, but quite a nice, like there's no bad flavours in it at all, that I find anyway. And it's quite palatable. Old 12-year-old, so not a bad little whiskey. I might score that now, so I don't forget. So on the nose of the 12-year-old, I'm going to give it 87 points. For the palate, I'm going to get 85 points, and for the finish, I'm going to give it 84 points, giving it a average score of 85 points. And because it's Was It Worth It whiskey, and because we can, and because that's what we do, we'll give a Was It Worth It score. So on the 12-year-old, for a full-size bottle, not the sample, you can pick up for £40 or maybe 55 USD or 85 AUD. So on those prices, it's a lovely little drink. I don't think I could give it anything less than a thumbs up and a 7 out of 10 for the Aberfeldy 12-year-old. Winning. Nice little drop. Now let's finish off the 16. Just get a palate cleansing. I really need a beer out here for a palate cleanse today. I might get one afterwards. Alright. So we'll just go for the nose a bit again. So much lighter. More delicate, but there is a bit more intensity to it, like a bit more complexity to the 16-year-old, but not much. On the palate, well, instead of getting that honey and sweetness first hit, I get bam, like a chocolate and a bit of peat straight up, followed by some orange, and then some, let me have it on, some kind of nut. There's a chocolate and the peat again. Light peat though, like super light peat. Nothing that's overwhelming. And then bang into some like macadamia nuts. I've got some kids laughing in the background, probably laughing at me. On the finish, I get like a short spice, sweet honey, very gentle oak tannins. So you can tell it's an age more. It's a little bit more age. It's a little bit more complex. And then it kind of develops into this light chocolate notes at the finish as well. Once again, the finish isn't long. I'd almost say the finish on this one's almost short to medium short, but it's you know, it's not a long finish, but certainly a nice finish. Very, very reasonable. I wouldn't knock it. I wouldn't not drink it. So let's give it a score. On the nose, I'm going to give the 16-year-old, I'm going to give it 86 points. On the palate, I'm going to give it 86 points. And on the finish, I'm going to give it 84 points. Once again, giving a total score of 85 points for the Aberfeldy 16-year-old. Funnily enough, the same score for the 12-year-old, but the 16-year-old costs a little bit more money. Not too much. So the 16-year-old you pick up for £54 or say 86 USD or 140 AUD. Now on those prices, 85 points. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, but I'm going to give a thumbs down just on the fact that it's still 5 out of 10 because this could be a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I'm going to say thumbs down because I don't think I'll buy it again. For that price, well, not a full-size bottle anyway. Purely because for that sort of money, I think I could find a lot else on the shelf. And the 16-year-old, it's not very readily available. Whereas like the 12-year-old's kind of everywhere, but the 16, it's unlikely I would pick that up again. And on to the 21-year-old. It's a terrible job, this, tell you. So the 21-year-old. Put those a bit over here. Familiarise myself with the nose again. Definitely more complex. You can tell it's older. Can you tell it's 21 years old? I'm not sure. You know, that malt, that grain, that haze still there. Anyway. So on the palate, first up on this one, I get that gentle smoke. Not a big smoke, probably under 10 ppm, maybe 6 ppm, but a really gentle sweetness. And then it develops straight into these, so from the smoke to this nuts, spice, and a little bit more smoke. And then I get some, a little bit of orange, and then goes straight, bam, into these big hazelnut flavors, and like toasted or roasted macadamia nuts. So it's quite yummy. Maybe even get some like a toasted coconut as well. But I think the hazelnuts and macadamia nuts, toasted ones, really come through after that smoke hit. The smoke really complements those nutty flavors I get. And orange, and very nice. The finish on the 21, you get a nutty smoke, of course, light honey, a bit of cinnamon, a bit of cloves, some nice oak tannins, like, you know, there's some good barrel selection there. And I'm saying the finish on the Aberfeldy 21 is medium to long. So those nuts and those smokes and those honey kind of wave along in your mouth for quite some time. They're still in my mouth now. They will be for a while, I presume, as I had some last night, and that hangs around for quite some time. But let's give it a score. So definitely the best tasting out of the 12, 16, the 21 is. I'm going to give it a 87 points for the nose. I'm going to give it an 88 points for the palate, and maybe an 88 points for the finish. Very nice, very delicate. But the very nice and very delicate comes at a very expensive price. Unlike the other two, which were, you know, relatively in the ballpark of average weekly dram money, the 21-year-old comes in at 120 pounds, or 190 USD, or 250 AUD. So on a score of about 87, 88 points, and on those prices, although I look, if someone gave it to me, I'm going to drink it. It's a lovely little dram, but on those prices, I can't give it a thumbs up on was it worth it whiskey, because for that sort of money, I can get, you know, a 90 plus point whiskey, and this is only 87, 88 points. So I'm going to give it a thumbs down on the was it worth it whiskey, and I'm going to give it 4 out of 10. Remember, not because it's a bad whiskey, but because it's just more expensive than what I think it should be for what else is out there, and that's what was it worth it whiskey is. So there you go, there you have it. In summary, 12-year-old is a great little whiskey. Some good flavours, not that complex, but quite nice. 16-year-old has a few different flavours, but I wouldn't really rate it worth that extra money over the 12. And the 21 is a bloody nice whiskey, but just not at 120 pounds a day. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to go and get myself a beer and sit out here and finish these whiskies with a beer. Until next time, see you later. Cheers.